There's a lot of people that have approached me since I decided I was going to do this, and they've asked me why or what the reasoning is. And then there are those people that sit on the sidelines wondering who this arrogant prick is that's putting a show on YouTube to highlight what it looks like to produce in the middle market. The truth of the matter is, it couldn't be further from arrogance. This is something that I can do to give back to the industry that has done so much for me and my family. And quite honestly, for the 11 people that are in the top 11 of this show, it has the ability to change their lives and the trajectory of their careers forever. I don't know who wouldn't want to do that. So no, people, it's not an ego trip by any way, shape, or form. It is truly a way to give back and let America see how awesome the industry is that's done so much for you and me. Was the real estate industry sexy before $1 million listings? Probably not to most, but I can guarantee you that a lot of people were paying attention to realtors as a result of that show. In a nutshell, that's why we created the Protege. We want to shine light on an industry that has the ability to change someone's financial tree, but really doesn't get the visibility that it deserves. Over the course of the next couple of months, you're going to go on a journey with the people you're going to see in YouTube videos in their original submission, go through the 7 challenges that we gave them. And those 7 challenges allowed them to find industries that are going to thrive coming out of COVID and build an entire business process around those industries they identified in challenge number 1. And then when we cut it down to the top 5, those top 5 are going to go out and they're actually going to produce real accounts using this process. And the top 3 will be the top 3 producers who are then invited to Jason Cass's Brain Share in San Antonio, Texas in September to present live what their experience was like and ultimately be subjected to a live vote streamed across the country as well as in the room so that everyone has an opportunity to let their voice be heard as to who they feel should be the protege. So this is crazy and just like my head, a jumbled mess. And I'm sure that my coaches and all of the contestants would agree. But the fact of the matter is this thing morphed the entire time we were filming it. We didn't want to be just like The Apprentice. We didn't want to be like anything else. And so I basically did an end around and called an audible in the middle of filming this so that we could not only have the ability to have people create work product, but also to take that work product and demonstrate practical application and create sales as a result, driving real revenue into their agencies. We had 76 people apply to be in the first season of the Protege. The 11 people that were selected were the 11 people that followed the rules. I was looking for people who have heart. I want people who aren't afraid to try new things, people that are willing to get outside of their comfort zone, people who maybe didn't have a lot of background using video, but bit the bullet and decided they wanted this bad enough that they were willing to expand their horizons and go out there and do things they had never done before. One thing that every contestant should have recognized from the very beginning of this process was my very clear social presence. Those that adapted and made sure they had the necessary social presence thrived. And those who were weak on social, unfortunately, they're not going to make the cut. If you look at the makeup of the judges, there's really no rocket scientist is behind how I did this. I mean, every single team has what I call a doer and a talker. So if you look at the teams, you have Ricky Hayter and Ryan Hanley. Hanley has his podcast and his voice throughout the industry. Ricky works his tail off. I needed both of them to come together so that we could get the word out about the competition, but also to help give their contestants visibility.
I was in from the first moment that David pitched me on the Protege. Just the whole concept of a reality show that just put a spotlight on the hard work and effort and the struggle that it takes to be a successful producer, particularly in the middle market, but just the problems you have to solve and the mental acuity and toughness that it takes to be successful in this business and to have the humility to ask for help and work with mentors. It just completely engaged me. There's been nothing like it. And I'm just so excited to be part of the project.
When David first approached me about doing the Protege, I thought it was awesome. And I didn't really understand what it was that he was trying to do or what his intention was, his vision. I thought that it was a scholarship program, which it is, for Killing Commercial, and thought, man, if there's anything I can do to help, that'd be great. I would love, that's a great idea because it's, a high ticket item. It's a great opportunity. And there's a lot of people that may not be able to just pay to get in that could benefit, and giving back to the community like that is awesome. We kept talking and it kind of became more clear to me that it was going to be this reality TV show kind of thing with coaches and a competition. And I had no idea what that was going to look like. But I knew if anybody could pull it off, it was David.
I decided to be a mentor in the Protege because this is what we're supposed to do, right? I mean, I haven't been a successful agency owner yet. I'm an agency owner. I won't say that I'm successful yet, but I have had experiences in marketing and lead generation and demand generation, branding. And in those ways, if I could help a producer with those aspects of their business, I just wanted to be of value. And I think that being of value to our fellow insurance industry professionals is something that we all should do. And really, it was just an honor that David would think of me, and it sounded like a ton of fun.
I thought it was a great opportunity to continue to talk through and develop my skills, share the knowledge that I have and gained, while at the same time learning from the other coaches, learning from contestants. Just because they're the contestant, they still bring stuff to the table.
Bradley Flowers and Josh Gurley. Josh Gurley is a silent assassin in the middle market and is an awesome coach for whoever ended up on his team. Bradley is the co-host of the largest podcast in the insurance industry, and that is a marriage that had to happen, and their team is better for it.
From the moment that I heard about the Protege, I was hooked. I knew that it was going to be a great idea and a hit from the very beginning. Because really anything that David puts out is so well thought out, it's so well planned out, and it always seems like it's exactly what the industry needs at exactly the right time. So in my mind, there was no hesitation in being part of the Protege. In fact, I love the way that I do business. I love the way that David does business and the way that the other coaches do business in their agencies, in their respective towns, and in their respective areas of expertise. And so to be able to take together so much information and so much knowledge and take that and be able to give that back to the insurance industry was something that I wanted to jump on right away.
So when David reached out to me and asked me to be a part of the Protege, I don't even think he asked me to be a part of it. I think he told me about the idea, and I forced myself into the project. So I thought it was a phenomenal idea. I don't think there was a better person to do what we're doing than David leading on. And for me, it was an immediate yes, and I thought it was going to be a win. There's a lot of mystique around commercial insurance, especially middle market commercial insurance. There's not that many people talking about it. So seeing the process and seeing these agents who are all exceptional agents, and some have become very close friends, go through that process and better themselves is going to be a win for everybody involved.
The reason that I decided to participate in the Protege to be a coach is because our industry has become so commoditized. Our industry has become nothing more than commercials and who's the cheapest, and all the advice, all the trusted advisor things that we've heard for years and years and years. So much of that has been forgotten in our industry. And it's really a shame because our industry is full of some really amazing people. Some people that want to help push the ball down the field, that want to help the industry grow, that want to help the industry get better. And so I wanted to do this to show the people in the industry how they should be thinking, to show them what they're capable of.
Jason Cass and Joshua Lipstone is Team Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies, and they are both on the Agency Intelligence Podcast Network. I didn't know Josh well until he got into Killing Commercial, and then I got to know him a little bit better, but I really got to know Josh when he interviewed me on his podcast regarding my book, The Extra 2 Minutes. Josh's level of preparation in the detail and the depth in which he was willing to dive told me that this guy could help these contestants. It was a no-brainer for me to bring Josh in once I got to know who he was and his skill set. And seriously, Jason Cass is one of those people that you just need to say Jason Cass and you pretty much figure out everything from there.
The first reaction I had when you told me about Protege was that it was never going to work. It just really wasn't. Not in this industry. Man, was I wrong.
So when David first told me about the idea of the Protege, I thought to myself, this is brilliant. This is either going to be the biggest thing or it's going to be the biggest flop. When I heard about what it is going to actually entail, it's going to mimic being the Killing Commercial that he has created and being part of that. I knew that people were going to just gravitate towards this. It kind of reminds me of the idea of real estate shows or TV shows like $1 Million Listing, on Bravo, things like that. And that he was kind of pioneering reality TV.
I decided to participate because I realized how wrong I was for thinking that something like this wouldn't work in this industry. And I was kind of right, but really it was you, David. It was the fact that I knew that if you had the idea and it was something you were going to do, it was something I could get behind. And not only was it something I could get behind, I actually wanted to be a part of.
So when David first told me about the idea of the Protege and that he wanted me to be one of the 6 mentors or coaches as part of it, I was very honored. Him and I had known each other for a few months and we had recorded a podcast together. And when he told me why he wanted me to be part of it, I knew I had to do it. Working in an agency where everyone shares the same last name as me, I haven't really been exposed to a lot of different people as far as mentoring, coaching, leadership. And the Protege has allowed me to work on those skills. And I had the opportunity to mentor 4 different individuals with varying backgrounds.
So the final challenge is really simple. Who produces the most business? The top 3 people that move on to present live at BrainShare in San Antonio are those that generated the most revenue through the process that we lined out for them. It's not subjective. It's 100% based on their production, just like the real world, which is why this is a real reality show. Next week on The Protege.
I won't waste your time.
I had been building my skills in risk mitigation.
Next thing you know, I learned how to cook and ski at the Alta Peruvian Lodge.
What is up, Protege Nation?
I'm going to be sent home. Now, I'm way too competitive to allow that to happen.
And that sounds like something that's perfect for a guy just like me.
Doesn't make sense. It's way too complicated.
And each day I try harder and harder.
Kept hearing you don't have any experience.
Blink of an eye, everything can get taken away.
That's not what I aim for. I'm always aiming just to get better.